Who is the Trapper? The entity's first chosen in its lineup of killers, forced in perpetuity to hunt down the survivors in a sick game of cat and mouse. He's described by the Observer as the miserable smiling killer because of his bear trap mask, and the only way to survive him is with extreme vigilance in a constant battle of looking up and looking down to avoid his well-placed bear traps. But who is the man? Born Evan McMillan. His father was Archie McMillan, the owner of one of the most profitable mines in Seattle. Archie was stoic, aggressive, and cruel. He's described in terms that paint him as heartless and sadistic. Archie had a singular brother who is described as kind, philanthropic, and empathetic. One day while Archie and his brother were out in the forest, a bear allegedly attacked them. The bear ripped Archie's brother's arm off and swallowed its head whole. Archie stabbed the bear repeatedly, according to his own words, and tore his brother's head out of the bear's stomach. He then dragged his brother's body all the way back to their home. 5 miles away, 10 miles away, the length and the story was always changing. The bear was always there, but the circumstance was different each time. It's unclear if the story had any merit or if the bear existed at all, but one thing is definitely true. Evan's uncle died under mysterious circumstances, but that wasn't the only person in Archie McMillan's life to have died mysteriously. One day, Archie's wife went out for a swim and was caught in a current. This was unlike her to be so careless and to be caught in the water in that way. Evan was always certain that his father was responsible for her death, but he could never quite prove it. No one stood up to Archie McMillan, not even family, not his brother, not his wife, not his son, and certainly not his employees. Archie was repeatedly unkind, lording over his employees with an iron fist and brass knuckles. Archie would abuse and berate his miners, telling Evan that you have to break them so they do their job. For this very reason, Evan was sure that his father was responsible for the deaths of his uncle and his mother. As a young lad of 14, Evan started getting close with the miners, to the point where he would call them friends. Evan was softer than his father in many ways. He had compassion and care for these people, recognizing that they deserved better treatment than his father ever gave them. He felt that they deserved better wages, less unkindness, and better working conditions. But there was very little he could do for them. All Evan could do was try to encourage them and be there for them, hold on to their secrets and tell them to unionize and make things better. Evan was always afraid that his father would find out his secret, that he was friends with these miners. Archie would have hated this and done the worst things to Evan if he found out. So Evan kept a dark secret. He sat in his room, sketching away his innermost feelings. Archie hated sketches. He thought only soft boys and maggots would sketch. But yet, Evan sketched away in secret. He was a talented artist, and his friends even commented that he was good. But his father could never know. Over time, Evan could feel his own cruelty rising up. He had the urge to hurt people in the way his father hurt them, because hurting people made him feel powerful. Evan wanted to control others the way his father did. And so he spent the majority of his teenage years vacillating between loyalty to his friends and loyalty to his father, all while keeping the secret of their plan to better their lives. One day, Evan came home to find all of his secret drawings were torn up and strewn across the ground, all but one. His father had caught him. But deeper than that, his father found out that Evan had been sketching because of a great betrayal. Evan's friends ratted him out to his father, and they revealed this secret for a mere few dollars. Evan was hurt and betrayed. For so long he had kept their secret, and yet they were unable to keep his. Evan's father wasn't physical in this moment. In fact, he was silent, which was somehow worse. He quietly walked out of the room and went to his own. Evan followed his father to the room where he found the missing photo, the only one to not be torn up, framed, and hung above the bed on the wall. The singular photo that Archie kept and hung up above his bed was a sinister one. Evan had drawn his father donning a bear suit, drowning his mother in the river. Was this the confirmation that Evan always knew is true? That his mother died because she got in Archie's way? That Archie was the true killer of his mother and that she didn't die by a simple swimming accident? Archie tells Evan in this moment that he will learn a lesson, one that he'll never forget. Evan's rage from being betrayed fueled him into becoming the McMillan enforcer, running the prosperous mine with an even rougher fist than his father. It's unclear how long this ran for, but one day, for unknown reasons, Evan led a team of 100 men into the depths of the mine. Maybe it was a fake meeting about the Union. Maybe it was to investigate a problem. All that is known is that an explosion went off that sealed their fate. Evan, as well as 100 miners, died in the explosion and the subsequent presumed mine collapse. When the authorities went to investigate the tragedy, they found Archie McMillan trapped in the basement of his own warehouse. He was starved, he was abandoned, and the reason for him being tied up there is entirely unsolved. After all the betrayal of not only Evan's father, but also his friends, after life had been so cruel to him with the constant abuse, did Evan finally snap and decide to take everyone down with him? It's uncertain. One thing is known though. The entity saw the great darkness within Evan McMillan. It saw his precision to hide in the shadows, lie and maim when needed, and exploited that to bring Evan in as his first murderous killer. Evan's strength of will and precision would guide him through the trials of the fog. But the question is, why the bear traps? Evan saw his abuser, his father, as a man in a bear suit. Every time he sketched him in a bear suit. Was Evan subconsciously always trying to catch his abuser, that terrible big bear in his traps? Archie's story about the way his brother died always involved a bear maiming him, and Evan never believed that story was true. Did Evan see his father as a bear? Was he subconsciously always trying to catch his abuser, that terrible big bear in his traps? Does Evan see each survivor as a manifestation of the traitors who sold him out when he trusted them most? Like his father allegedly killed that bear who ripped apart his uncle. Maybe the world, according to Evan, are full of bears, and Evan has to catch each one of them and slaughter them. And that is the story of Evan McMillan.